structures, unless Frozen lifts his barracks the wrong way, and it does appear that he has done so. This barracks is actually on fire, so it's probably going to burn down and take a very, very large amount of damage. Big stream of zealots and a couple of marines are moving up to try to deal with Kimcern. Kimcern actually has both the supply depots down, which is going to be interesting in a couple seconds. We're going to see if Gruesom's able to capitalize on this, and it does look like he is probably not going to. He's just going to mess around with that ramp. He's not moving up it for some reason. Hopefully Kimcern will realize, yeah, Kimcern has realized the mistake. Kimcern is actually getting a whole bunch of upgrades, and he does have a much stronger economy than either player. I'm just going to say, no, his economy actually isn't that much better, because neither of these players were Zerg with their Ts. They were just able to continue pumping out workers. So their economies aren't actually that far behind. It does look like Frozen has finally landed his command center. He's not going to be able to land his barracks in time to repair it, I don't think. Will he do it? No, he's just still floating it off. It's at 90 HP, 80 HP. Does not look like he's interested in landing this. It's just gonna float off and die. Looks like Hardcore has finally finished picking through the supply depots of Frozen. So Frozen is gonna have to basically rebuild from scratch, and it does look like he's gonna land this barracks finally. It's at 20 HP, and the SCV is going to finally get there, and it is finally gonna get picked up out of the red. I am sorry for my inaccurate predictions of doom. Frozen has a whole bunch of SCVs queued up. It does not look like he's going to go for an orbital command, which is a bit of a strange move, because an orbital command would really help him to kickstart his economy. A whole bunch of zealots and some marines going to move up and try to hit this choke, but these marauders and marines behind these supply depots are probably going to be able to do a whole lot of damage. The zealots tank relatively well, but they don't tank well enough. And it does not look like very much damage is getting done to these supply depots. It looks like these zealots are actually focusing down the supply depot right here, as well as the supply depot right here, instead of just trying to... And they do break through. I have really bad predictions today. Hardcare's last zealot is getting taken out, though, and it does not look like Kimcern is actually going to be able to hold this. Gruesome has a whole lot of marines, and even with reinforcements coming in, it looks like Kimcern is just going to get taken out. If he had gotten a couple of SCVs over to help repair the supply depots, that would have worked a little bit better, but it does look like that massive blob of zealots and that massive blob of marines is going to do a whole bunch of damage. Gruesome is forced to fight against Kimcern's reinforcements right here, and those marines are actually getting taken down fairly quickly, but Kimcern has 0 troops right now. His reinforcements got taken out to the last man right there, and there are some more zealots just streaming up here, which are going to help the fight. Kimcern is probably actually going to hold this off with his SCVs right here, just taking out these marines. SCVs have a whole bunch of health. They don't do that much damage. They've got the same amount of health as marines, and they might actually do the same DPS. They do 5 damage, marines do... I think marines do 6. I'm actually going to check that. Yeah, marines do 6. And they're both on a... I'm going to look this up. They're not... SCVs are not actually on a fast attack speed. They always seem like they attack really fast when they're killing my workers, but maybe not. And these marauders are going to fend these zealots off of this ramp. Kimcern is doing a pretty decent job. If I were him, I would actually lift up a barracks and just put it right there, just because he's got 3 barracks, or maybe even one of these structures that doesn't have an add-on, so he doesn't actually have to leave any of these add-ons behind when he lifts that up. And that would do a very nice job of blocking the ramp and preventing any sort of zealot marine force from moving up in like this one is going to do right here. There's a whole bunch of marines and zealots there. That's going to be way too much for these very small marauder numbers to handle. If there was something to wall that off, though, that would fare much better, especially if there was an SCV repairing it. I am, again, surprised that Kimcern did not do that last time, and I kind of feel like this point needs to be hammered in. Kimcern is actually not using very many of his production structures, probably because he got a couple of his SCVs blown up by those marines, and he's actually not mining any gas, so he's not going to be able to tech to something that these marines and zealots could not deal with, perhaps a cloaked banshee. And it does look like the last of his combat forces are going to get taken out by this wave of marines and zealots right here. Those marauders are not faring very well. Neither player is going to go for any sort of harass. They're just content to chase these marauders around. Kimcern, in the meantime, is not actually producing anything out of all these structures. He's using all of his APM, and let's actually go ahead and check that out right here. He's using all of his APM just to kite around with these marauders instead of building anything, which is definitely going to seal the deal for him. In the meantime, his partner has actually finally gotten a factory up. Looks like he went for a tech lab on this barracks, stuck on this island with nothing to go for. He does have an orbital command, but it does look like we're going to have a GG out from both players, because Kimcern is out of workers and Kimcern is just going to get taken down by these marines. So, no GG actually, kind of Idra-like manners. Definitely kind of an exciting game to watch. Lots of early game action going on. commentary was done by me, Rainbows, and if you would like me to do any of your games, please feel free to shoot me an email at tonyzigelman@gmail.com. That's TonyZigelman@gmail.com. Thanks.